Ladies and gentlemen, today we gather to discuss a profound truth that has resonated through the annals of history, a truth often summarized in the phrase, "They will fall into their own pit." This powerful statement encapsulates the idea that those who plot harm, deceit, or injustice against others ultimately bring about their own downfall. It's a reminder that integrity, fairness, and virtue are not just lofty ideals, but essential principles that shape our destinies. Let us begin by delving into the essence of this saying. The imagery of a pit is striking, a deep, dark hole dug with intent. The one who digs it, driven by malice or selfish ambition, does so in hopes of ensnaring someone else. Yet time and again, we see the digger themselves stumble into that very trap. It is a vivid metaphor for the consequences of ill intent, a warning to those who seek to harm others that their actions often backfire. A genuine reason to see historical lessons of justice. History provides countless examples of this truth. Consider the story of Haman in the biblical book of Esther. Haman, a high-ranking official in the Persian Empire, plotted to annihilate the Jewish people out of spite and jealousy, constructing a gallows to execute Mordecai, a man he despised. Yet through a series of events that revealed his treachery, Haman was ultimately hanged on the very gallows he had prepared for Mordecai. Mordecai felt that he was successful in his insurrection, and so this tale illustrates the inevitability of justice and the dangers of allowing hatred to govern one's actions. Similarly, in more recent history, the tale of dictators and oppressive regimes often echoes this theme. Leaders who sought to suppress, manipulate, and harm others frequently faced their own undoing. Adolf Hitler, for instance, orchestrated a reign of terror, seeking to dominate Europe and impose his vision of racial purity. Yet his unrelenting cruelty, paranoia, and hubris led to the collapse of the Nazi regime and his own demise. These figures, consumed by their ambition and hatred, illustrate how the pits they dug for others became their graves. The moral law of the universe. Why does this pattern repeat itself across generations and cultures? It's because there is a moral law embedded in the fabric of the universe, one that rewards goodness and punishes malice. Whether you view it as divine justice, karma, or the natural consequences of one's actions, this principle underscores the importance of living righteously. When individuals or societies act out of greed, envy, or spite, they create instability and conflict. These actions ripple outward, generating chaos that often returns to its source. Conversely, acts of kindness, fairness, and integrity cultivate trust, stability, and harmony, which benefit everyone, including the initiator. This moral balance is a testament to the interconnectedness of humanity. Psychological and social dynamics. On a psychological level, the pit metaphor also reflects the inner turmoil of those driven by malice. When someone schemes against others, they are often consumed by fear, paranoia, and guilt. These emotions can lead to self-destructive behavior, causing the individual to sabotage their own efforts. The pit they fall into is not just external, but internal, as their negative intentions corrode their mental and emotional well-being. Socially, those who act unethically often face the erosion of trust and respect. Consider the workplace environment. An employee who spreads rumors to undermine colleagues may temporarily gain an advantage. However, once their duplicity is exposed, they lose credibility and alienate their peers. In the long run, their reputation suffers far more damage than any short-term gain they achieved. The role of empathy and forgiveness. Understanding this principle also calls us to examine our own hearts and actions. While it is tempting to respond to harm with harm, or to relish the downfall of those who wrong us, such reactions perpetuate a cycle of negativity. Instead, we should strive to act with empathy and forgiveness. Forgiveness does not mean condoning wrongdoing. Rather, it is an acknowledgement of our shared humanity and a decision to rise above vengeance. By choosing forgiveness, we refuse to dig pits for others, breaking the cycle of harm. Empathy allows us to see beyond someone's actions to the pain or fear that might drive them, fostering understanding and potentially reconciliation. Building a society free of pits. If we expand this principle to a societal level, We see its relevance in shaping policies, communities, and cultures. Societies thrive when they prioritize fairness, justice, and inclusion. Conversely, systems built on exploitation, oppression, and inequality ultimately crumble under the weight of their own flaws. Consider the environmental crises facing our world. For decades, industries and governments prioritized short-term profits over sustainability, exploiting natural resources without regard for future consequences. Today, we face the pit of climate change, with rising temperatures, natural disasters, and biodiversity loss threatening our planet. This is the cost of behavioral decline, that we prioritized sustainability with rising temperatures, natural disasters, and biodiversity loss. However, this crisis also offers an opportunity. By acknowledging past mistakes and working collaboratively toward solutions, we can transform the pit into a foundation for renewal and growth. Lessons for personal growth. On an individual level, the falling into their own pit phenomenon reminds us to examine our motives and actions. Are we building others up, or are we tearing them down? Are we driven by jealousy, fear, or anger, or by love, hope, and generosity? By striving to act with integrity, we not only avoid the pitfalls of malice, but also create a legacy of positivity. When faced with challenges, it is vital to remain patient and trust that justice will prevail. There will always be moments when we feel wronged or unfairly treated, but responding with dignity and grace ensures that we do not stoop to the level of those who seek to harm us. Instead, we rise above, embodying the virtues that lead to true success and fulfillment. In 2007, we monitored the Facebook chat room frequency and saw a demand for audience engagement, with the average 47 minutes. The transformative power of hope. Ultimately, the principle of they will fall into their own pit is a message of hope. It assures us that wrongdoing does not go unnoticed, and that justice, though sometimes delayed, is inevitable. It encourages us to persevere in the face of adversity, to stand firm in our values, and to trust in the power of goodness. Hope is a transformative force. It inspires us to dream of a better world and to take the steps necessary to create it. When we encounter those who dig pits for others, we can respond not with despair, but with resolve, knowing that their actions will not prevail in the end. By holding on to hope, we illuminate the path forward, guiding ourselves and others toward a brighter future. Conclusion. Living with integrity. In conclusion, the phrase, they will fall into their own pit, is a timeless reminder of the importance of integrity, compassion, and fairness. It calls us to examine our own hearts, to treat others with kindness, and to trust in the moral arc of the universe. Whether in our personal lives, our communities, or on the global stage, this principle challenges us to build bridges instead of digging pits, to sow seeds of love instead of discord, and to rise above the baser instincts of vengeance and malice. Now, let us commit ourselves to living with integrity, not because we fear falling into a pit, but because we understand that doing so elevates us all. In doing so, we become beacons of hope and agents of positive change, proving that goodness, in the end, always triumphs over evil. Thank you.